Hi guys, I'm Ksenia from Metierdore, and I will show you now how to install your new drive band onto your antique spinning wheel. So here's an example of a antique double drive spinning wheel with the drive band already installed. I'll show you the splice, which is the connection of the two loose ends. It's right here. So this video will have two parts. Part one is measuring the drive band that you have in hand, the correct length to be installed. And part two, I'll show you how to make this seamless connection. When I measure, I will look for the position of a perfect tension, the tension that I consider to be perfect. It's when the drive band that is already installed, when you press it lightly, it lowers to about 1 inch. Okay, see, it's not very tight, it's not very loose. So when I spin, I can easily, here I have an exercise with my leader, I can easily let it go and then pull it. So when installing the new drive band, to measure it, we will look for this same tension, 1 inch down. To prepare for measuring, we have to put the mother of all in the right position. So this is the mother of all, this is its base, that is, we can move by adjusting the tension screw here, okay? So this is its lowest position, which is the closest position to the big wheel. And what I want to do is I want to mark it on the bench here. Now by adjusting the tension screw, I will move mother of all away from the big wheel, and I will mark the position of the same reference point. Now the mother of all is at its highest position, as far away as possible from the big wheel. So here's my reference point, and I'll mark its position here. So this is my amplitude, okay? What I want to know where's 1/4 from my lowest. Doesn't have to be very precise. See here. So I will put my mother of all in a position where the reference point is aligned with this mark. So you can see it's done. I choose to go to 1/4 from the lowest point because this position allows me, just from my experience, it will allow for a slight stretch of the drive band over time, not to bother me too much, because even if it's a very well made drive band, it will certainly stretch as there's wool in it, although not much, but you have to be certain that it lasts as long as possible. So this 1/4 rule showed itself to be quite efficient for the longevity. So everything's ready for the cord to be measured to become a new drive band. Here's my cord. Make sure your bobbin is on, and have a piece of something handy, a piece of chalk or a piece of sewing soap, because you will need it to mark your drive band. So basically what I have to do is just to put it on my wheel. If you have someone who can help you, so that it doesn't turn, you better use this help. Well, I'm doing it all alone. It's still possible. There's no rules, no specific rules how to do it, just common sense. But basically what I'm doing, you see, I'm letting the cord stay on the wheel, giving it tension, just pull it all the way around twice, okay? And yes, it falls, but you catch it up again. It's a bit tricky, but still possible. See? Some patience necessary. So here I put it really where I would put it my ready-made band, okay? So show it all the details in a second. Okay, so I'll make a temporary knot here to show you how I put it around. Okay, so here are the details. Once on the bobbin pulley, once on the flyer pulley, just like normally you would put your strap end. Now the most important moment. Into my note. So here, remember in the introduction I showed you about the tension of 1 inch when you press it and it goes 1 inch down. So here is exactly what we want in this case. So I will leave a little tail here of about half a meter or half a yard. Okay. Now measure. I'll tension it a bit, not too much. Okay. And then I measure my tension here. I see this cord here is more loose than this one, so I'll adjust it just with my hands so that the tension is equal. Take that off. So, okay, put it back on. Remember my tail here? Okay. Let's see, it's not a very precise science. It's more or less, but trust your gut feeling. Just go with the logic, but you'll feel it. Like, okay, this is my 1 inch and it works. All right. So I'm holding. You notice that I'm like holding it tight here. This is where I will put my mark. This is 1 inch. It's on 1/4. This is what I want. All right. So hold it here. And I'll mark it with whatever we have in hand, something that you will be able to see very well. Mark it on your cord. So this will be your meeting point and like the middle of your splice. Okay, so this is half a yard or half a meter, it doesn't matter very much. Another tail I want to leave the same. Alright, hold it here. I have my marks. Can release it now. This is where I'll cut my cord. But this one I don't want to cut it for demonstration purposes, so I'll just make a knot. This is actually another way to mark something out if you don't want to cut it and you don't have a chalk or anything. So this is my length that I will work with when I installed the cord which will become the dry band on my wheel, right? So scissors, cut. Here's a close-up of the splice. You can see it is slightly thicker than the rest of the dry band, but there's no knots, nothing. It's just like a thicker part. So when you spin, it's nice and smooth, and there's no bumps, and there's no sewing to do. It's just a way of interweaving the strands and weaving in the ends. You can work on your wheel, next to your wheel, or off your wheel. If you want to work off your wheel, first make sure that you will be able to put your already dry band onto your wheel. You have to make sure that you can dismantle the big wheel. In my case, it's rather simple. If this is my dry band which is ready, which has been already spliced, okay, I will need to put my dry band here. Then I can install it properly. So I can choose to work next to my wheel or at my table, for instance. If you're not sure you will be able to take the dry band on and off, you'd better work next to your wheel. The dry band doesn't have to be on your wheel, but it can be off like this. But you will be splicing. You will put a chair next to your wheel. You will work like this. Now for splicing, we need a cord, a pair of scissors, masking tape, and a few sewing pins. Okay, so here are my marks. Here's one tail, another tail. Next step would be I take a piece of a masking tape and I put it next to my mark onto one end of my rope. I'll put it, if my loose end is on the right, I'll put it to the left of my mark, like above my mark. Okay. Like my mark is here, my masking tape is just here. Cut them off. And undo the two strands, like untwisted. So my way to splice is basically treating this cord as a 2-ply. It is actually 2-ply, but each ply consists of 6 strands, 2 cottons and 4 wools, different colors. But we will treat it as if it technically just 2 strands. Okay, so it will be easy for this reason. So next step is, I find my other mark. Here's my loose end. I put my, I'm working on my knees, but you can, I'm working off my wheel, you can work off your wheel as well, or you can work with your rope on your wheel, like next to your wheel. So here's my other end. Here's my mark. What I'll do, I will splice and start splicing at my mark. Okay, my rosette is on top. Here are my two strands. We'll start splicing. I'll open it up at the mark like this. I'll put one strand in this hole, in this opening from the top. Like from the above, and another strand, do the same thing, but from below, like this. Make your life easier, you can make knots here on those two strands that you separated. Okay, so I'll stretch it slightly. Then I will find the next opening just below the one we've just been working on, and I'll do the same thing, but the previous step I was putting my strand in the hole from above. Now I will put it from below, and my left hand strand I will put it in the opening from above. Okay. Stretch it a bit, but we'll smoothen it out later on. Next opening. Above, below. Next opening. Below. Above. You wouldn't want to confuse the above, below and the sides, because it will not work. It will just not be beautiful. So be concentrated. If you're lost, you can actually see that, okay, this was above, this was below, now the next. Like, see here. Below, above. Keep going. Above. Below. Next open. Here. From below. From above. Now it's starting to take shape. I stretch it a little bit. Nice and pretty. So I normally do this first part for about 2 inches. Does have to be very precise. My splices are normally a bit longer than needed, but I can't stop when I do it. I like it so much. So hold on a second. Below. Next. Into a couple more. The whole thing takes normally 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes, when you're used to it. People usually stress out more than it's worth it. It's really not that complicated, just unusual. Below. Above. Okay. 2 inches, not yet. One more time. above, below, below, above. Well, that's it for the first part. Stretch it nicely. Okay, so this first part is finished. So now what we will do, we will leave out the strands consisting the two big strands. We will leave them out one by one from each side. We'll start from cottons. The brown is cotton, the color is wool. So I will cut I'll choose one cotton here. I'll cut it from the knot at the end. I'll leave it out. So when I do my steps, I don't use this cotton on the right. Okay, left it out, so I do it twice, not twice, once, above, below, below, above. Stretch it a little bit. Now time to leave the second cotton out on the right hand side. So leaving these strands out one by one will allow for this perfect smooth shape of the splice. So my second cotton is out. Continue with my little knot on the end. Continue the same, exact same thing. The next circle. Over. Below. Below. Above. Right, nice. Second cotton on the left hand side goes out here. Why did I say you might need pins? Because you might want to fix the thing if it moves too much. You can actually fix it to your jeans or to your, like to my napkin. In this case, you can fix it like this. In this case, let it stay. There's space. Continue, maybe a bit higher. So continue. The next hole is here. So there's only wool left, and it's very fine wool, so we can, what was it? Go below, above. Pull of it nicely. So now I have 4 strands of wool here, 4 strands of wool here. Actually, could have been a bit shorter. Cut it. So now what I will do, I will leave the wool out one by one. But instead of making above, below, below, above, I will just make above, below, leave the wool out, and go with another side immediately. So my spaces between the strands left out will be twice shorter, because this wool is very fine, so it won't bother me, and this will be faster. Here, and let the yellow out. Doesn't matter which color, but let it be yellow. Yellow. We'll leave the yellow out here. It can be different color, doesn't matter. I think I made a mistake, did I? No, I didn't. Above, below, below. Should have made little knots still. It's more convenient. Now, leaving out next one, that will be blue. Above. Forgot. One to the left. Deville. Above. Above. Like a meditation. Hello. we're like done. You can continue a bit further if you wish. Well, below, when you work, always do the same sequence. If it's the right hand first, do the right hand first. Don't do variations. Okay, so this was my above below. I leave this out. On my left hand I have just one. It was below, so I do above. The next opening, and then I do below just in case. And we're done for this side. Okay, so this is very nice. I splice. So this is the middle of my splice. This is half of my splice. The splice is normally about 6 inches long, but as I said, I have a tendency to make them longer than needed, and it's totally okay. You can make your distances shorter. It's like a carrot actually, so your carrot will be like fatter. My splices are like this. Okay, so you pull all those ends that you left out. You have to pull them, not too hard, but actually quite hard. You can pull them down and pull your drag band as well. Okay, so this is done. Now I have to do exactly the same thing with another end. What you can do right away, if you wish, you can do it later, but you can do it right away. You can cut these nicely so that your satisfaction is guaranteed right away. So this is half of the splice. Now we have to make another half. So we'll turn it 180 degrees. Here's my loose end. Here's my masking tape. That's my work as such. Fix it here. To my knee, to my jean, or to my working surface. I undo the other end. The point where the two cords meet. Okay, this is a bit tricky because you have to pay attention at the joint. So I undid my strands. Now I have to take the masking tape off. I do the same thing. Just pay attention to your first step. Where's your first opening? At the end. The ends. time to get a good start. In the worst case, if it was a bad start, you can always unweave and then start all over, but not all over, but start from the middle. Okay, so this is my next one, like this. Okay, this is, if I make it below, it won't work because it's already from above. And this is my first one, so it's my left hand side which goes first, and this one will be above, so this is my below. Above. If you make a small mistake, it won't be critical. Below, above, left first, below. Above, below, left first. See, I had it right, so you'll be able to. That was above, below. Okay, left first. Left first, talk to yourself, it helps not to get missed. Below, above, understand the logic. Actually, it's exactly the same thing. Above, below. Continue. I did it 4 times, I think. 4 cycles, so I'll do it the same on this side as well. Below. It's my 3rd cycle. Left first. Above. Below. Pull it. Below. Puff. Both. Down. Okay, now it's done. Now leaving out left first, leaving out first cotton on left. The brown one. pull my ends that I left out one by one, or maybe two at a time, doesn't matter, just so that they place themselves. Okay, so here's my splice coming along. Now I cut the ends. When you start spinning, the ends will come out a bit, and that's okay. You might wish to cut them off eventually. They will keep coming out until they don't want to come out anymore. So it's part of the game. It's totally normal. You might wish to wet splice, so because the wool opens up with water, or just to put some steam on it, that will lock the ends better if you wish, but don't have to. So here we are, nice, smooth and pretty. You have to go cut. Voila, nice splice.